the streets of Accra, I see countless number of people begging for alms, some abled, others disabled. Today, I meet up with one I choose to call a reluctant beggar because circumstance has forced him to become a beggar. Let's meet up with him and talk more.
I was born able, but I lost my father 3 days after my birth. I lived with my mother for a longer while. Then somewhere along the school, she died. When she died in somewhere April around that time. Then later on, 5 months later, my stepfather also died. So ironically, I'm an orphan. So
how was life in school? How was life in Kateko?
Life in Kateko was very good if you want it to be. So frantically, the way I was living my life, some of the teachers provided me crutches, paying my school fees, giving me money to feed. So they were doing all the inspirational work until by the grace of God I finished. When I finished, there was no support from anywhere. In fact, it came to a time, in fact, I ran out of confidence and I decided to commit suicide because it seemed that life on this earth looked to be nothing. So one of my schoolmate, I don't know where he was from, came around the house and said, Bernard, why do you want to do this to yourself? And I said, look, Elijah, how can someone live on this earth, have no father, no mother, no stepfather, have nothing on this earth, should survive? So it's better I go and join those who will live in the grave than to live. So he took me to his house. And
was that after school or still in?
That was after school. So from that time, he became my very initiate friend. So he was supervising me. So when I go and seek for hands, I come to their house, help the mother to wash and do the house chores. Then that's the same place I wash my clothes. Then I sleep there. But along the line, the mother also died. And the relatives are fighting with him over the house. So that helped me to get out from that place and come out and sleep at first light. So when I came there as an adult, just to see the life way forward. So I continue my begging because to be frank with you, I don't take alcohol, I don't take any Indian or any strong hard drink. So I'm somebody like I should have made money, but I'm one of the disabled who don't get money when begging at all. Unlike the one I just show it to you, I don't get money at all. I went there this morning around 6, and this is all the money I have. I use some to take trotro to this place, then use some to bath, public bath. So this
is it up to 10 cities?
I have not yet counted.
When you got to First Light, what was your impression? Did you feel like First Light was a place for you, or you felt like I have no option, this is where life has brought me, so I'll make the best out of this?
When I got to First Light, frantically, I went back to my school before First Light. I went back to Kateko to find a place to lay my head, because that's the most important thing. And the watchman over there was by then a drunkard. I was there one day when he came and said, Bernard, I'm giving you the last one. If you don't leave out of these premises, I will slaughter you like a fowl. I took the message as a drunkard message, but I said, no, it may be reality. Let me advise myself. So before he even came to his senses, I'm out of the place. So when I rushed down to First Light, I said, God is always with me. Wherever I'll be, I'll live my innocent life.
So tell me, at First Light, when you got there, how did you get a place to lay your head?
When I got there, to be frank with you, I joined someone who was by then, a young guy who was by then sleeping by one of the stores. So I became nice to him. And even at first, right, I was very sociable to everybody. Nobody will have bad news to say about me.
Now that you have mentioned it, tell me how you became paralyzed.
The doctor incident, what I got to know is that I got sick and my mother rushed me to the hospital. But frantically, I don't know how the doctor got to attend to my sickness. But what I got to know is that he injected me, and through the injection, the nail got broke. The needle got broke into the waist. Lo and behold, I got to know that it wasn't long, and the president of that time, or the government of that time.
How old were you then?
By then I was 7 to 8 years. Asked him to go and further his studies in abroad. What I would say is that I'm not happy about the way some of them do their service, including everyone. Why am I saying this? Because how could an able person come to a hospital and end up being paralyzed? Look at what's happening. Somewhere 2008, I got sick again. When I went to the hospital, the doctor said she want to inject me with the medicine. I said, no, I'm not good to be used on injection. He said, that is the only way she can use to treat me. And I said, oh, I know the reason why I'm talking like this. So if you do anything happen, then it's your fault. He said, nothing will happen. So I allowed him to inject me. When she injected me, I became paralyzed. At the moment, when I fell from the way I was standing, the leg got broken as if there's no bone in my leg. Since then, from 2008, I have not taken any injection. So my advice to them is that, please, they should be professional. So they should consider God and do their professionalism accurately. If the government attend to their need or not, at the end of the day, God is the judge.
No, so let's go back to you being homeless. Whilst you were at First Light, you saw the need to help other people so that you can reduce road traffic accidents.
Yes.
And that is when you started directing traffic.
Yes.
Before directing the traffic, you told me you went searching for work to do. How far did you go? Which kind of work did you search for?
By then, still I was by the roadside. I was by then begging at ECG, the one just opposite National Hockey Pitch. So what happened is that when President Kufuor came into power, I think they were by then clearing us out of the roadside. So the police were arresting us. They arrested me on twice occasion to the Central Police Station.
For begging?
For begging. And they asked us to get ourselves being employed. So I went to the national, how do you call it, by then, National Youth and Employment. And they asked me to go and do the chalk work. So they give me an application letter. So when I got there, I joined the work. But doing it for just only 3 weeks, I realized I was feeling the pain because a time ago, a doctor told me that I should consider the way I sit for longer period. So I went back to Ministry of Youth and Employment and I told them that I want to be a lift operator. They gave me another application letter. When I submitted it to Kolebu, they told me point blank that Ministry of Youth and Employment cannot authorize them on what to do or who to employ. And I said, what kind of things are you people doing to me? Tossing me here and there. So I went to the manager who is in charge. He said, already that place is full. He said, so is there anything that he can do about it? He said, no, he can't do anything. I said, okay. So I left, then went back to the roadside. But when I come to my normal personal sense and negotiation with God, I said, God, give me wisdom to survive on this land. then I'll have an idea that go this way. But since you don't have the money on you to do this, keep on begging at time. Then along the line, you divert. So that is how I manage the day. When I wake up, what I do normally is that I go out to go and search for arms. And I make sure by 12 I leave. Because I have to come and rest, then take care of other matters, like how I get myself into this traffic. So always I'm monitoring every route. Sometimes
how do you monitor?
When I'm in trotro or in any vehicle, I'll force myself to alight. Yes, 3 days today, I went to a junction near Salvation. I was monitoring the motorists that take that route to Kamara, Agege, Banana Inn, and how difficult they come. Hey, I said, oh, Ghana. So how long? So I said, okay, one day I'll come and take care of this place. But during President Kufuor's time, what I do is that when I go and search for hands, I go and rest at the Mokola Hall. Then when it's getting to 4 p.m., I come to the Lawrence Park where the traffic is. And I try to support them by raising my hand. Please, wait, have patience, let these people go small. So I was by then able to develop how they will correspond. And some will even ignore, I don't even mind those who ignore. But I encourage myself that I can do it. So I started it from that place. So that's how I got it. So on my first attempt, I directed first light around 5 a.m. It was by then Sunday. The police did not come around. I directed it to from 5 a.m. to 3 p.m. And to be frank, they cooperate. By then I was not having the reflector, but they cooperate.
Now tell me about your reflector. How do you come by a reflector?
What I got to know is that why do some motorists look stubborn when I'm asking them to stop or move? And I got to know that when you don't have anything on you, they don't see you. Because I approached one driver who was by then in the traffic, and I said, I could see that you are rushing, but there is someone at the junction there directly. He said, oh, I can't see anything. I can't see anything that somebody is directing. I said, so what I'm thinking is right. So I developed the mind that I should use the reflector.
Moving from place to place, how long have you been directing traffic?
Okay, to be frank with you, I started it permanently from February this year.
Just this.
But what I do is that when I am attending to one traffic light and the police come to try and intimidate me and embarrass me, I'll leave there.
Now tell me about the expertise. You said you've been researching because you don't want to beg. And so you've been trying to get yourself self-employed. So at least you can do something on your own. Tell me some of the things you have tried to do. Your skills that you've tried to develop.
I was by then once a painter.
Okay.
I can climb a ladder, paint a house, paint the ceiling, and the facial board and everything. But it seems that this Ghana, this country, when you are disabled, nothing looks to be better in the sight of able person beside disabled person. That's what I've observed.
So you were a painter at a point. How long did you do that?
For a longer time. And when I paint for some
Yes.
When I paint for some people, they just give me some token of money.
They don't pay you the right amount. Yes. They cheated you.
Definitely. And there was a time a lady came to, I met a lady at Nima Chemical. By then, my madam, who was by then teaching me at Kateko, sent me to go and buy, how do you call it, tie and dye equipment for production of tie and dye. I met a woman who said she wants someone to teach some people at home. I narrated the whole story to my madam, and we agreed that I should go. I went there. When I finished teaching them, I ended up being cheated. And I said, oh, I leave everything in the hands of God.
You think they cheat you because you are disabled?
They cheated me because they seen that I'm disabled. Definitely. The tie and dye involves a lot of money because you have to buy the wax, you have to buy the dyes, the chemicals, then you have to buy the material. You have to buy the hydrogen sulfide and the hydrogen, which will be used to mix the dye. So after doing all these things, when you are to even cut 1 yard, then you have to calculate all the measure, all the expenses that you have spent and use it on the 1 yard. And the people or the customers will not be able to buy when they compare it to the China one or the already made one. So it came to a realization that we have difficulty in producing the tie and dye.
You try teaching, you try painting, you try doing tie and dye. Now you are directing traffic. What is next?
To be frank, I have a whole lot in me that I've been praying to God, because I have told God that He should help me. One day in the future, if God does not take my life, but give me the ability, what I'll do is that I'll register a lot of youth to get themselves in agriculture production.
Poultry farming or plants?
So that it will enable our country to grow. By the way, I'm not interested in any politics. I'm talking of my personal view and what I have told God to do.
And you pray and hope God will do that for you.
Oh, God has taken care of me as an orphan from my infancy. So with the rest, I think it's more for God. Do you know that, before I forget, I have operated corn mill before.
Okay, that's another job. That counts to 5 or 6. How many do we have now? I think 5.
And the man ended up not even pay me a peswa.
And sitting is not
that one, when I finish my operation,
then you get up.
I get up.
Walk around.
I walk around.
Okay. I like that idea. Okay, so corn mill 2, number 5. All right, so let's see. We are going there. I don't know what is in this bag. You tell me about what you have in the bag.
I have my sponge, my Pepsodent, my brush.
Okay, your personal things.
Yes.
Perhaps a dress to change when you go in.
Yes.
How do you vote?
Because of the nature of what is going on in this country, I've decided not to vote ever until Thy kingdom come.
I agree with you. Okay, but if you don't vote,
be happy that my fellow disabled colleagues, they will even stop voting.
Why?
Because this is annoying.
You think nobody thinks about the disabled?
Definitely. When it comes to voting, you see them how friendly and how angelic they can be. After voting, everything is absent. On so many occasions, I decided to commit suicide. And I don't know, by the time I will get closer, somebody will come to rescue me. There was a time I decided to even go and fell into the sea. Not knowing there was someone behind me, watching me and monitoring me. Because when sometimes what I became sad of is, oh God, look at how lowly I am. I have nothing. But at the end of the day, you help me to survive.
What is your greatest wish? What do you want to see happen to you to change your life?
My greatest wish is that I hope with God all things are possible, and with God I can make it. But at the moment, my heart desire is that I have to congratulate you, especially you show such an intelligent journalist, because you saw me in the evening and you didn't even fed up, but you trace up to now. But what I want to do at the moment is that I want to assist the nation in the directing of the traffic. Then along the line, I'll be praying to God to help me on what next step to take. I don't want to do things by my carnality. That's what I want to do.
You're very religious. So do you go to church or you do prayers every morning?
I don't go to church because, one, my fellow Christian helped me not to go to church. I helped a certain pastor and he ended up allowing police to arrest me. it's a tedious story and a complicated story. He ended up even cheating me and being supported by the police. That's number one. Two, I have been to, I don't want to mention it, church name. I have been to so many churches in Accra here. Some 2 years, some 3 months. To be surprised with you, I was at one apostolic church in Ghana here. I'll not give you the specific church. I was there, and fortunately for me, on my first day, they asked us to come, those who are the newcomers to come out. When I came out, I then was able to direct to the pastor, the chief pastor, the bishop himself. I told him my story. He denied me and gave me to his Bible study teacher. Look at what God will do. This Bible study teacher one day came and met me at Accra, sitting on the pavement begging, spoke to me. I also spoke to him and went. Later in the day, we met at the church premises. To be frank with you, I ended up using some of the begging money to pay for offering, and nothing came about for my help. I use it as a point of contact. I said, oh, with God all things are possible. It's better I live a holy life, stay away from all sins, pray, read my Bible,
and to go
with my life. And what's even worse in the whole case is that because I don't have a place to lay my head, if I buy a cloth and put it on, by the time I'll come, another person will take it away. It will give me another headache. I say, oh God, everything is in your hands.
So will you call Bernard's situation a case of negligence? First, on the part of a doctor who got it all wrong and rendered him paralyzed? Or on the part of government for refusing or being unable to initiate policies that could help the disabled? And then on the part of police for not being there to direct traffic when they need to? I leave you to be the judge in this case. My name is Martha Crensel Aqua, and I have been reporting for Joy News.